I'm Randy Altman with Post Perspective. We're here at SIGGRAPH 2022. This is Ollie Rankin from Pansensory Interactive.
That's right. Yep.
I got it right. Ollie, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and what the company does?
Sure thing. So I originally founded Pansensory in 2012 to develop an iPhone game because it was when the whole world was playing Words with Friends, and I'm actually a bit of a fairness Nazi, and I've always objected to the way that the outcome of a Scrabble game is so affected by the luck of what tiles you draw. And so I wanted to have a game that where luck played no part in the outcome. So it's a word game where you're claiming territory and you have access to the full alphabet at all times. And the idea is to steal your opponent's words by adding letters on top or at the end. Anyway, didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but the funny thing was the name Pansensory Interactive turned out to be a perfect name for a VR production company, which is what I really wanted to do and was kind of waiting for all along. So when the Oculus Kickstarter happened a couple of years later, I was sort of ready to pivot into that.
So you went to virtual reality, but now you're also working in virtual production. So how did that transition happen?
Yeah, so I'm interested in all of the sort of mixed reality, virtual reality, augmented reality, all of the sort of spatial computing, and I think of virtual production as being mixed reality filmmaking. So to me, it's part of the same sort of ecosystem of capabilities where we are sort of enabling people in the real world to tap into a virtual world and incorporate that into their creative work process.
Interesting. So, we're here at SIGGRAPH, where virtual production workflows, some standards are happening with open source, USD. Can you talk a little bit about how that will affect your work, your role, your projects?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big proponent of both open source and open standards, so really happy with both the work that Kronos is doing and the fact that everybody here is talking about USD adoption being critical. I think that I believe in collaboration, and I think that a rising tide lifts all boats. So the more we're able to interoperate between different software, different hardware platforms, different studios and facilities, I think that's going to ease the uptake of all of these technologies.
I think that there's a perception out in the world that working in virtual production, you have to be a huge company and have a ton of money. Is there truth to that?
Not at all. Not at all. I was lucky enough to get invited by Epic to do the Unreal Virtual Production Fellowship in the fall of 2020, and it's a program teaching both the use of the Unreal Engine, but also the principles of virtual production. And that each time that they do the virtual production fellowship, 100 people turn their bedrooms into a home studio and create a film in the space of a little over a month. So obviously there are big ticket items, like if you want to have a wall of LED screens, that's an expensive thing.
But you don't need
But you don't need that to be doing virtual production, and people are use the Vive trackers from HTC to track consumer cameras and to be able to do virtual production like that. So yeah, and the other thing that I think is really exciting about virtual production is that it is not just sort of technologically democratized, in that there are sort of consumer and prosumer price point products that people can use to build out these capabilities, but also because there's a really amazing community of people sharing everything that they're learning, and it's not just that both Epic and Unity are putting a lot of learning materials out there for people to learn from, but also people who are doing their own experiments are sharing their findings and teaching each other and building off of that. So
and hopefully the language will become more standard, so when someone says something, everybody will understand exactly what that means. I know it's sort of an education and an evolution, but I feel like we're getting there, and thank you for stopping by and chatting with us. And
my pleasure.
Ollie, thank you.
Lovely speaking with you, Randy.
Same here.